You know what? Strangely, more and more the boards are positive now. I think we're shedding the folks that don't belong in the club. But Dr. Britt Baker, the
I
worker,
love her.
she said, "I'm all in on Detroit for two reasons: Eminem, Kevin Nash." So
Thank you,
she's rooting
sweetheart.
for the Lions. Clearly,
She's a good lady.
Tom Talker 2000, I really like those road stories, Kevin, and I'd like to hear more of them, as I'm sure others on here would as well. It puts into perspective how difficult this business truly is and what you guys and gals sacrifice for our enjoyment. The dedication and commitment you must have to survive in this type of profession is beyond stressful. So thank you for everything you risk for our pleasure. I don't think a lot of fans realize that.
You know, and I don't want to go into anything that I mean, because there's some rumors and crazy things that are going on. By the time we were to divulge get into them, they'll be long gone, and Cornette will have spoke 17 hours on them. But you know, you made a reference a couple weeks ago that what is this fascination with shit in wrestling, and
It surfaced again today.
it did, and so I just wanted to say that I don't know what the fascination with shit in wrestling is, but it's I guess
It's alive at the top
yeah, it's
of the
part of lacing
business.
it's part of lacing the boots up.
Lacing the boots up and
Uh,
brother. We'll have to ask Johnny Ace. I don't know.
Shit's on.
On who? EC899 says, I 100% agree. Terminator 2 is one of the best movies of all time and definitely the best sequel. I think you brought that up last week, didn't you? Weren't we talking about that?
I was one of the ones that I thought
was there a sequel out there that was as good as the or better?
Yeah, I said that and Aliens were my first two.
Product Review Productions says, hilarious and useful life advice. Quote, black jeans are 3 days. Just don't eat mustard.
You know, baby.
Referencing some road stories from last week's show. Go grab that if you missed it. I'm sure it was a holiday last Monday when it came out.
Yeah, well, every week's a holiday.
3 out of the last 5 weeks. For anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, we look at the numbers every day when our show debuts on a Monday. And a lot of you obviously like to listen and hopefully not watch while you're driving to work, or maybe you're commuting on the train or the ferry or something. And so we have a big commuter crowd on Monday mornings to make the week more palatable. So obviously when it's a holiday, those folks are not commuting, so they're a little late to coming to
so
this.
our numbers crumble, and we think we put another Biden's show out.
And so, every fucking holiday falls on a Monday, we now realize. And
yeah,
at this season, between Christmas, New Year's, which happened to both be Mondays, and then Martin Luther King, the 3 of the last 5 weeks were Mondays. Citizen Beeswax, if this show still exists next year, maybe you guys can consider recording the podcast after the final snap in the final game of the weekend's playoff game. It's no fun when you guys are a week behind after each playoff round on Monday morning. All right, Citizen, listen how this would have to work. I'm just going to get you to try to understand this. If this debuts at 6 a.m. on Monday morning and the last fucking game is over at about 11:30 on Sunday night, Kevin's up and ready to go at 1 a.m., but it doesn't leave a lot of time for editing, mixing, mastering, uploading, and all.
Or talking about anything except that fucking one.
Apparently, that's all he wants to listen to.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, you obviously you watched the game.
And Citizen, I don't have to tell you about Monday Night Football, right? You can do that one on your own, right? When we talk about the Monday morning.
We talked about a lot of things. Like, you know, it just so happens that the border situation will be here next Wednesday.
It'll be here.
You know, the fact
a multi-billion-dollar CEO dropping a deuce on a submissive. Probably going to get a lot of coverage in the next 4 days before we.
But not to say that if we fucking jump on that fucking Hershey Highway, that we're going to fucking be in any way right.
Germinator, great show. As always, thought the story about Big Daddy Cool getting pulled over was hilarious. Did you ever get pulled over by a fan? So a cop that was a fan.
All the time. Man, that used to be an ongoing joke. We'd fucking get pulled over, and a cop would come up, and freaking Scott would always open his Halliburton and say, "Who do I make it out to?"
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I'm going.
Just, he had a picture. Pull out a picture.
Yeah, pull out a picture. Who do I make it out to, officer? If they fucking said, "Who the fuck are you?" But if he said, they just, there's so many times, man, that the guy would laugh. Like, wow.
But it's good. Scott needs a superpower like that back in the day. I think.
Well, that was like Harley Race, though, you know. It was always actually, officer, you must not have any fucking idea who I am. I am a pro wrestler.
Oh,
I am allowed to go 190 miles an hour.
disregard the case of beer at my feet.
Yeah.